stats that come through. But Ched, you had the question you wanted to ask Egal.
Oh yeah, what are you saying, people? Obviously, big up Arsenal for giving us content for the rest of the summer. It's going to be fun, obviously. Um, this is just how it is. Do you know what I mean? For the last 20 years, you've been the banter club. Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. You can tell by a gal's tone he's scared of change. So I'll tell you why. Because every single time I hear an Arsenal fan, who when someone brings up the fact that they want to get Arteta gone because of the reasons Connor and Brian are very articulately put, the response you get is, but look how competitive we are. We don't lose against big six teams anymore. The tactics are great. We're out coaching everybody. So why don't you fucking win anything then? Why can't you win the Carabao Cup? Isn't it the same manager that kept Martinelli, that kept Mourinho in the team, who bought this guy last summer, who bought Calafiori? Did he have to buy Calafiori? Did he have to buy Moreno? Did he have to make those signings? The opportunity cost of Kai Havertz 2 summers ago for 65 million from Chelsea, who was a scrub, by the way, who no one wanted, who you paid for. So what my point is bringing up that point is, because everyone brings it up, but I don't want to get to the actual point of it, which is he chose to make these decisions, but then when the decisions don't go the way the Arsenal fans want it to, then they blame the board. The same board that backed the guy in the first place to get players like Havertz. So why is it all of a sudden not the board's fault then, but now it's all the board's fault Martinelli's playing left wing? You have to keep the same energy. That's the only problem I have. I understand the question Terry asked, which is, who would you get? That's a debate for another day, because that question is fair, but at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't make change. Does that make sense? And these are, again, the same people after Real Madrid who were saying Rice is world-class and Saka's world-class. So why didn't world-class Saka and world-class Rice score their world-class tap-ins today? But I won't hear anything about it from the same Arteta inners. I won't hear that. It'll be the board. They just messed up with Martinelli. And, the guy was saying about the tactics was spot on and we outcoached everybody. So why didn't you outcoach my man today? Is Real Madrid's attack not better than PSG's? Or would you say PSG's attack was better than them? Because the last time I checked, they weren't. That's my point. The arguments keep going everywhere. 1 minute, you bring up a good point, it's the manager, then it's not the manager, then it's the board. And I'm not really getting a lot of consistency. And that's been an issue with the Arsenal fan base in general. Because some people come with the point of view with the manager's poor. Some believe it's not the manager and it's the board. But then those people won't condemn the board for signing Kai Havertz, who the manager wanted. So the lack of consistency. And it comes from, like I said at the beginning, a scared of change. A lot of our Terrace, for example, keep saying, oh, it's because we compete for top 6 teams. Who gives a crap if you can't beat Newcastle? Who cares? It's the same 6 points. But because you're not the banter club anymore, it's okay, right? Because you're top 3, it's okay, right? You might end up 4th next week. And then you've regressed.
That's the worst thing we've got for Liverpool.
I can't believe there's Arsenal fans sitting there for 5 years, not winning nothing, and going, yeah, but, the board, we'll get a new left winger, and we'll get a striker, and when we get that, it'll be fine, because then that will work to that, and Man City will stay still, and Chelsea will stay still, and Liverpool will stay still, and PSG will stay still, but don't worry, our coach outcoached everyone, but you don't win anything. Because let me ask you this, Terry, do you rate Timo Werner? I'll answer for you, don't. Do you rate Pulisic? You don't. Do you rate Havertz? You don't. But that same attack won me a Champions League.
I don't rate Havertz either.
There we go. That same. What's my point, boys?
I never rated him when he was bought. I never wanted him.
Yeah, I'm not saying you. Let me finish off. I know you agree with me. My point is, I'm not bringing it up to gloat Chelsea. Obviously, 2 UCLs to hold that as well. But my point is that my manager, who won that UCL, made changes to adapt to the players he had. And he got over the line against, guess who, guys? Real Madrid. Did you know that? So when I beat Real Madrid, I actually win something. When you beat Real Madrid, it's, oh, Declan Rice, world-class. Where was his world-class header today after 5 yards? Where was world-class Saka? We've got to tap the ball into the back of the net. But then 5 years will go by, another year will go by, and the same people will be like, yo, but we didn't get Williams, so that's why we didn't win the league. If Saliba wasn't worried about Real Madrid, maybe he wouldn't. And if the stars came down to earth, maybe I'll grab one and be a billionaire. And maybe next week I might walk into a shop and earn £1 million from the shop owner. Who knows what could happen, right? But the point is, when people like Connor and Brandon who make an articulate point get shut down, it doesn't make sense to me. And I have the same energy from Rashka. If he wins the Conference League this year, the next year gets an average 5th in the league. I'm not gonna be like, yes, we're consistent. We're not getting battered. I'm like, no, like, go win something, bro. And that's where the issue falls. If you're not winning with progression, you're just progressing and then you're stagnating now. So before, you could argue you're improving, but now you've regressed. And throughout this whole time, since the FA Cup, so I give you credit for you beat us in the final, cool. Since that point where it wasn't his team, he's built his team, he's got the place he chose to get, you haven't won anything. So that's why when the argument comes from throws back at you going, so what now? And you're going to him, oh yeah, but the board didn't buy him a winger. Who fucking bought Moreno? Who bought Calafiori?
That's what I mean.
Do you know what?
It has to be consistent, Terry. My point about consistency.
Cheers. I hear you on
it.
the consistency, and that's for me where that when that argument comes up, I still look at that as a board issue, and I'm the same with my club. No football club in England should be letting its manager pick the transfer targets. They're just not trained to do it. For me, it's whenever I hear my club did it for 12 years, and look where we were. Look at the Liverpool when they let Klopp start handling the transfers for a few years, fell away from them title races. I don't think modern day managers should be allowed anywhere near that amount of power. Although Arteta has made the decisions, I think the mistake is the board giving him that power.
I agree with you, Terry. Go. I'll let the Arsenal fans land. Sorry, boys, take it your time.
Yeah,
enjoy. I've got to represent the rivals, innit? The rivals want me to speak. I'm speaking for them, giving them the content for this week. Shout out Football Terrace. Another thing is, Egal, this is on you, yeah? Stop calling every single player you have world class.
He does that too much. He does that too much.
I don't know who this CUCK is, but bro, shut up for a second. Okay. When it comes to my own players, bro, of course you're gonna get hyped up, you're gonna get gassed. But bro, I don't call my players world class.
Hey, Egal, chill out, Egal. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be rude. I never cussed you, so chill out a bit.
No, you let me finish, and then you.
Okay, I'll let you finish, but chill out. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to name call. I didn't name call. So just chill out. Chill out, man. You seem more worked up.
Yo, Chez, listen.
You're rattled.
Yo, listen, Chez. Listen clearly, bro.
I know I rattled you,
if somebody's gassed, they're gonna gas up their players. Declan Rice definitely deserves world-class shouts. Saliba at times definitely deserves world-class shouts. Saka at times definitely deserves world-class shouts. Just because they didn't perform and the team didn't finish their dinner versus PSG, fair play. There's world-class players on Real Madrid. There's world-class players on Real Madrid. They didn't turn up over 2 legs versus us. All of a sudden they're not world-class. It doesn't mean shit. So I'm gonna just say this. I can say whatever the hell I want about my players. If you don't like it, tell me why they're not world class. Instead of you saying shut up and stop.
Tell you why, Terry. Do you want to put up the 5-yard miss Saka did today, or should I do it?
Mikel was an architect, though, isn't he? Egal?
Yeah. Should I bring up Declan Rice's missed header from 5 yards out, or should I do it? Who should do it? Me or you? I don't mind showing him. Who's going to tell Egal the next time they're playing
missing a header, missing a tap in, you lose your world class status?
But Egal, don't worry, man. You're right. Keep the manager in. I have more banter for a few more years. You could be in the mud. I'll win some trophies in a bit, though. Love, enjoy.
Cheers, Chez. Look, I am going to go to yourself in a minute, Ruck. Trimless has been on for a while. What do you want to say, Trimless?
I just don't know why Setman is looking off Chez in it. He's up. But anyway, in terms of the game, disappointing night, man. Disappointing night. I mean, before the game, Arteta came out and he said, I look forward to beating him. Beating him up, bro. You meet. Because again, it was just another lackluster performance. And then we're gassing up 20 minutes. Like, why are we even excited about 20 minutes? Like, what about the other 70? Why are we not getting into that? There's no point even praising the 20. Donnarumma was on smoke, but like the chances we were created weren't mad. They weren't like crazy clear-cut chances where you're like, yeah, it should be. It wasn't adapting. PSG held the pressure. And then when it got time to game management again, my manager fumbled. Yes, he's great with tactics, coach. Sometimes he overcomplicates it, makes wrong decisions. Like, it is what it is. The board clearly came out and said, we get top 4, we're happy. Trophies are a bonus. So I already know Arteta's here to stay. So whether I'm out or in, obviously leaning more to that towards the out before we even got to this stage of the season. It is what it is right now. And Uncle Partey, yeah, he exposed his real age today. I was actually looking forward to Donny coming back, and he does that. The first one, I was like, I'll just about allow it. You know, he probably thought there could have been a striker behind him. The second one, like, so clumsy and lackluster. And it's just not what we need from our, players that we rate more higher in the squad, key players. It was just, and then you already know how I feel about Odegaard, man. Now, like, the change, the dynamic. But I'll give him another season in terms of me personally because of what he's produced in the 2 seasons before. But he's really just been so off it. Didn't rise at all. But you know who rose? PSG. Vitinha. Woo! PSG were cooking, bro. I'm not even gonna hate.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I get what you've said there about Partey, and he was partly accountable for the first goal. The clearance should have been better, but equally, I thought Martinelli's defending was poor. We've all played FIFA. You know, when you run at someone, you know, if you sprint at them and you get too close, you're going to get turned easy, right? It was just like watching FIFA. So I think Martinelli made a mistake as well. The shot in itself, I know it deflected as well, but I still think it was going to go in, if I'm being honest. The power on that was ridiculous. But this is where maybe I see it differently because I am an outsider. And I, as a host, I try not to banter too much on the match reaction shows. You were just up against a team that I think, especially in the midfield, was just superior. And sometimes, as fans, you get angry, right? I wanted my player to do this, player to do that. In reality, sometimes you just can't beat what's in front of you. That's just the cold, hard fact of sport sometimes. We all watch Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a world-level boxer, but over 2 fights, he just didn't have the ability to beat Usyk. And I just feel that even when, like, the Hakimi goal, the way they press and they hunt the ball down, as much as it's annoying when your player lets it go, I was personally watching it and thinking, look at that press. Look how they hunt the ball. Look how brilliant they are at winning it back. I didn't see it as Partey was shit on the ball. But that's because I'm not an Arsenal fan, right? So I'm not looking at it from the same angle as you. But I do get your frustrations massively, mate. I really, really do. What's your thoughts ahead of the summer? A lot of Arsenal fans saying time for change with the manager. Do you agree with that? Or would you like to see Berta give him better quality players to see how Arteta does next year?
To be honest, I would actually like going from what Connor said, and I heard the points he said. I actually agree with that. Like he's done an all right job. I appreciate what he's done, but there's time for change, and obviously people just need to be open to that. But it's like anytime, and I'll say this, and when I've said this to Arsenal fans, even when I said it at the start of the season, after the transfer window, people in group chats were saying, "Oh, I'm negative, I'm this, I'm that." They were getting angry at me, or if others, or like everyone's on the streets. People would like, and I'll say the type of manager I want. Some people will get hostile about it, and they'll get like aggravated or sentimental and stuff like that. But so I feel like we sort of need change. Like I would be open to that, but I don't know if the owners are gonna. I don't know if the owners are actually gonna do that. However, with obviously the summer coming up, because if Berta like has his way, which probably we might see happening, because from what I'm hearing, looks like Berta's going to be having most of the control, and it's not going to let Arteta have everything all his way.
Yeah.
If Arteta, I probably see a thing where, for example, Berta could sack Arteta if Arteta gets a signing, doesn't utilize the place properly. It could happen.
Yeah, what we were saying earlier about who do you blame, board or manager? If Berta doesn't have the power to remove the manager, your board is the focus for you guys. It shouldn't be Arteta, it shouldn't be Odegaard, it shouldn't be Berta, because the sporting director should have the power. Of course, it needs sign off by the Kroenke still, but it should have the power to say we need to move on. Otherwise, What you can't, I don't see how you can have a hierarchy where someone lower down the pecking order is more powerful. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. I appreciate what you said there.
And obviously, with regards to the game,
go on, mate, very quickly.
With regards to the game, obviously we were dominant for 20 minutes, and then after that, like PSG scored a screamer, and we just weren't clinical, and it shows obviously what we've needed all season, a center forward. And people are like, nah, you don't need a center forward. We need a center forward.
Yeah,
like,
anyone who said that's wrong.
obvious.
Speaking of clinical.